What's up, friends? This is Black Light. Tonight, I'm coming to y'all, showing y'all, man, we got to be careful about where we eating at these different restaurants, at these different establishments. Some of these restaurants is so nasty. Like when we go to restaurants, we see, the lobby. The lobby can be nice and everything, and everything looks so good. Everything looks so great from the customer's perception, but you have no idea what's going on in the back of the restaurant. In these videos I'm about to show you where this man found a skinned cat outside of a restaurant. Another restaurant where a lady seen these people take a deer off the road and take it into the back of their restaurant to where she called the health department, and the health department came and confirmed that these people had taken meat from a dead deer that they picked up offside the road and had inside the restaurant. So I'm just making this video, y'all, just to show y'all that we don't trust it where you eat. Make sure that you checking where you eat. And that's all I got to say. But right now, friends, I'm just about to just share a couple videos with y'all because all these videos was pretty much shocking to me. And so I just wanted to share them with y'all. Please comment and let me know what you would do if you were some of the people that we're about to witness. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can watch the first video that I found.
Get this, one restaurant, 110 violations. And on top of all of that, our cameras caught something disturbing on camera that even still exists in the kitchen now.
In tonight's Dirty Dining, Local 10 investigator Jeff Weinstein tries to get some answers from an owner who doesn't want you to know what inspectors found recently.
I don't know what this is. This is fish on the floor. We don't know if it was going to be cooked or used for sushi, but we do know it doesn't belong on a filthy, wet, greasy kitchen floor. We are in the kitchen at China Buffet at 11379 Bird Road. Inspectors recently found 110 violations here, and we saw some of the issues still exist. You have steak on the floor. Can you just take the steak off the floor? That bin of raw.
And look how like nonchalant he is about it. Like, come on now, 110 violations. They a pack of meat, a fish laying on the floor, and then he got steak sitting on.
Meat was very close to that piece of fish we found on the floor.
And there's rats and rodents in there, and then you got the meat just sitting out there, just on the floor. It's not covered up, it's not wrapped up or nothing. A bucket of steaks is sitting on the floor, and you know damn well that is some rats and rodents up in this nasty ass restaurant.
Tell us what was in this sink in the dishwashing area. There are 3 full pages of violation after violation. Roaches near a sink and a food prep table, chicken, beef, pork, ham, dumplings, all out of temperature. The dish machine was not sanitizing. Food debris, encrusted materials, mold, grease was found on almost everything from ovens to...
They said mold and grease was found on almost everything. And then I'm gonna tell y'all something else. I'm actually a I work in the restaurant industry, and I actually have a serve safe certificate. I'm gonna tell you now, meat sitting out at room temperature grows foodborne illnesses. It makes people sick, and they had all that meat sitting out, not at no proper temperature. Food sitting on the floor. Food is supposed to be at least 6 feet off the ground, because there's germs and bacteria and stuff that's not even known to the regular eye that
to the
is
soda
growing.
gun. There was evidence of an employee smoking in a food prep area. There was an objectionable odor in the kitchen. That could be coming from this bathroom that was in the kitchen. It was full of standing water and reeked of sewage. What in the world is going on here? The owner doesn't want to talk about it. No cameras. No cameras what? So first of all, don't touch. First of all, don't touch the camera. Wait, okay. Don't touch my camera. 110 violations. The worst inspection we've seen in a long time. 110. We showed those entering to eat what was recently found inside.
I'm gonna find somewhere else to go.
You're gonna eat somewhere else.
Yeah.
I bought from there and I returned it right now.
We are shocked the state allowed this place to reopen following an ordered cleanup and reinspection, and we have passed our findings on to the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. The good news? You now know what's going on behind the kitchen door. In Southwest Miami-Dade, Jeff Wines here.
Okay, so that's the first one. Like I said, I work in restaurant. That food's supposed to be 6 feet off the ground. Then they just said like mold and grease was just covering everything. But can you imagine a restaurant that's serving you food that they actually got your food that you about to be eating sitting on the floor? That's just crazy. This crazy as hell. But it's about to get worse than that. Let me share this other video with you about this guy that found a skinned cat outside of the restaurant. Now, this was the one that just like really threw me right here. Where's that one at? Like, I'll be able to take this one off. Let me see.
Let me make sure that I look for
What?
What?
Look at that. Look at that. Now, y'all tell me what that look like to y'all. It look like a damn cat that's being skinned, which means head chopped off, like the limbs. You know how you do a chicken and turkey, you chop the feet off and stuff, the head. And my biggest problem, my biggest issue with this is the fact of how she looking like she not shocked, appalled, not denying it. Like if somebody just walked, let's say you had no idea, nothing, like it was 100% legit that it's not yours, you had nothing to do with it, and then somebody walks into your restaurant with a skinned cat, like think how your reaction would be. And especially if they trying to make it seem like it came from out of your restaurant, you would be pissed and you would be going off. Not only would you be disgusted at the sight of that cat, but the idea that they're trying to say that it came from your restaurant, that's just not the reaction that you expect. They just stand there looking, not denying it or nothing, just looking with a blank look. Like they don't know how to react because it's like actually true. So they don't know how to respond. Look how they're looking. Look at how they're looking. Look at how they're looking. Just look at the way they're looking. You know what it is, and I'm not trying to always bring race or anything, but in the black community, these restaurants, these Asian restaurants, stuff like that, they'll do stuff like that. It's like a wide known in like in places like Philly or whatever, in the black communities where the health departments and stuff like that don't really get involved with the restaurants and let them, pretty much run things the way they want to, that they really do serve rats and cats and whatever like meat that they can get their hands on because it's cheaper and they can make a bigger profit and nobody checks them on it. Like just look at how she's just looking like with a blank stare. After somebody accuses her. Like I just got to see the way they was looking again, like when he confronted, because that's just weird how they were just looking. Okay, y'all, I got another one now. In this one, This is one where they actually called the health department in on these people. This woman seen this restaurant and they was actually getting a deer that had been hit by a car off the side of the road, loading it into their vehicle. And then she followed them and seen them taking the dead deer's corpse into the back door of their restaurant.
Tonight, a whistleblower 9 investigation. A woman told us she saw roadkill being taken into a Concord restaurant. The health department confirmed it's investigating. And in a story you'll see only on Channel 9, I took those accusations straight to the restaurant and demanded answers. But we'd like to warn you, some of these details may be considered disturbing. That's why I recognize it. This woman, who doesn't want her face shown and is only talking to Channel 9, took these pictures a Sunday afternoon in Concord after she saw people in this car pick up a dead deer off the road and throw it in the back of the car. She recognized the car from delivering food to her home and office. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. When they drove to the back of China Fun with the roadkill in the back, the woman called police. They were backed up by the restaurant door with that dead deer in the car that they used for delivery. Police turned it over to the Cabarrus County Health Department.
We went there and found that they had slaughtered a deer, or were cutting up a dead deer in the back.
Now check this out. We went there and found that they indeed had slaughtered a deer or were cutting up a dead deer in the back of the parking lot and had already brought parts inside into the sink. Now this is William Pickington, Carcass, co-director of public health. Now this is what he's saying. After she reported that, then they went to go check out the findings. And in fact, she wasn't telling a lie. That's exactly what they had done.
In the parking lot and had already brought parts of the meat inside into the sink.
It makes me want to cry because I know I have eaten there before. I walked into China Fun to get answers. Were you guys going to serve that deer to customers? Oh, what are you recording that anyway? Why did your workers bring roadkill here to the restaurant? I have no idea what you're talking about. That woman claims that she has no idea about the deer incident on Sunday, and the manager wasn't there. The county's public health director told me they made sure the carcass wasn't cut inside the restaurant and there was no cross-contamination.
Now check that out. Now after we just heard what the health inspector said, right? And then listen to the results.
Was no cross-contamination because those didn't happen to the restaurant. I have no idea what you're talking about. That woman claims that she has no idea about the deer incident on Sunday and the manager wasn't there. The county's public health director told me they made sure the carcass wasn't cut inside the restaurant and there was no cross-contamination.
Now, you see how that man just had said that when the woman first reported it, they went to go check it out. He said, in fact, indeed, they had started cutting the deer out in the parking lot, and that when they went inside to inspect it, they found pieces of the meat already inside the sink at the restaurant. See, this is what I'm saying when I say about the system and how I don't like the fact that the dominant society in all facets of society have the power and authority to take something that's not necessarily right. And because they have that authority and power to say, well, in this circumstance, we're going to bend the rule. We're going to break the rule. It's going to be okay in this circumstance. Can you tell me, as a logical, rational thinking person, if you were a health inspector, see, that's why somebody had to give somebody some money or something tied up, or they don't really care like that because Black neighborhood. You can't tell me as a health inspector, you go to a restaurant that serves meat and they have a deer that was hit on the side of the road at their establishment. You go inside the establishment and they're cutting the meat out. They're cutting the deer up in the back at this restaurant. So I mean, it don't really take rocket scientists to put one and two. First of all, what at a restaurant? Why would you even have Do you know how filthy and how unsanitary and just how nasty that is? Have you ever seen a dead deer on the side of the road before? And then these people had the deer at their, what is the purpose for having this deer at your restaurant? Why would you take this deer off the side of the road and bring it to your restaurant? See, that's what I'm saying. That's absolutely 100% not right. That's 100% trifling, nasty, disgusting. And if anybody should be shut down for anything, it should definitely, a restaurant should be shut down for having roadkill at their restaurant and roadkill in their sink. And then they had the nerve to say that there was no cross contamination found. And then people supposed to believe that just because they said that. Like, come on, common sense to tell you that if you brought roadkill into your home kitchen or anywhere, that it would be contaminated. Like, come on now, the dominant society, when they want to bend the rules for whatever purposes, they do it. Because you're not going to tell me that in a health inspection, if you found the corpse of a dead deer at a restaurant, that's not grounds for that restaurant to be shut down.
Because those didn't happen, the restaurant remains open tonight.
There's nothing that can be done at this point in terms of.
Come on now, you see what I'm saying? Now he has the power to make that call for whatever reasons. There has to be something behind the scene because you're not going to tell me that there is no way that that's acceptable. No way. There's nothing that can be done at this point in terms of shutting it down because there was no threat to the public's health. How is someone attempting to serve? And then and this other things, somebody that would do that, inside of that restaurant in that kitchen area got to be nasty as hell. Anybody that would do something like that, they don't have no type of standards as far as cleanliness, food safety, health, or nothing. Can you imagine somebody that would take roadkill and serve it to you? Their mentality as far as cleanliness and upholding food safety measures, and I mean, they don't have any. I mean, how low could you possibly go to take a corpse of a dead animal off the side of the road and bring it to your restaurant? Like, I don't see too much more nastier than you can get with that. To me, that's worse than skinning the cat in the back and serving it. Like, you taking a carcass off the road, and then this man gonna make the determination and say there's nothing that can be done at this time in terms of shutting the restaurant down. Now that's just based off what he want to say and what he want to do for any other reason. But I want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think about that? What do you think if you was a health inspector? What would you do? And how would you react if you was a customer that found out that this was the health inspector and that he said it was okay for that to happen?
Now, because there was no threat to the public health.
Everyone's really upset about this, and I think they should be shut down.
Health inspectors have been and will continue to do surprise visits to China Fund for several more days and will also do more frequent inspections. The health director couldn't recall any previous significant complaints regarding that restaurant before this. I called the restaurant just in the last hour and asked to speak to a manager. I was told they weren't available. I left a message, but I have not heard back.
I'm outdone over there. Like, I don't get how something took place. I don't know. Something had to happen in order because you're not gonna tell me that that wasn't grounds right there. Like, come on now, let's just be realistic here. I don't see nothing else nastier that could have been done. Like, that's just for real. This is just when they was reporting about that cat. Oh, you can find the cat. Okay, I think that was the last one. It was another one though. It was one more because now this guy, he acted right. You see how the other one, some of them was letting the people inside, like the first video I showed you, they actually let the people inside the restaurant, which I didn't understand. Like, they don't even got enough sense to know the terrible condition that the restaurant was in, because had they really known the condition of the restaurant, there's no way they would. In the first video I showed y'all, they had him in the back. He picking up meat off the floor, talking to the man like, get those steaks off the floor, taking pictures of everything in the back. They had no, they don't, they didn't even have the capacity to understand how trifling that was and how bad it was. Because had they known, they wouldn't even have let that man in the restaurant, especially not with no cameras. So that show you right there, they didn't have no clue or whatsoever about the right way of trying to even do anything. Clearly, they thought that that was okay. Now, that's what's dangerous. They had to honestly think that that was okay or that it wasn't bad, or else they wouldn't let him in there with those cameras. But anyway, friends, y'all let me know what y'all thinking about these restaurants. And if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Y'all like the video, share the video, make comments. This is Black Light. That's all for now. I'm out.